So they are asking us to perform CIDR aggregation on these 4 classes. If you remember the rules that we have seen in CIDR aggregation, first rule is all of them have to be contiguous. Let's see what is the range of each network. All of them put together, they should be contiguous. So this network ranges from 128.168.24.0 is the first one, and the last one is 128. Oh, not 168, right? 128.56. I don't know how I got that 168. 56.24.0 is the first IP address, and the last IP address is 128.56.24.255 is the last IP address, and next one is 128.56.25.0 is the first IP address, and the last IP address is 128.56.25.255. So you can extend all of them like this. The last IP address in this one is 128.56.25.255. You please refer to that concept where I discussed about CIDR aggregation. Okay, so all of them are contiguous. That is the first rule. First rule is followed. Second rule says that the number of networks should be a power of 2 and the size of each network should be a power of 2. How many number of networks are there? 4, which is nothing but power of 2, and the size of each network is 2 power 8. Therefore, the number of networks and size of each network both are powers of 2. Therefore, what is the total size of the, if I combine all of them together, what is the total number of IP addresses? 2 power 10. So second rule is also followed. First rule is all of them are contiguous. Second rule is number of networks is a power of 2 and the size of each network is a power of 2. That is also followed. And the third rule is, next rule is, after having these many 2 power 10, the first IP address should be divisible by size of the block, which means if you take the first IP address, this one, and if you divide it with 2 power 10, the remainder should be 0. So in order to divide any number with 2 power 10 and get the remainder, remember that the least significant 10 bits is nothing but the remainder. Therefore, I want to see least significant 10 bits in this first address. So what is the first address? 128.56.24.0. In this I want to see the 10 bits, least significant 10 bits. So how many bits are there? In this last one 8 bits are there, and in this one the next 2 bits will be there. I want to convert 24 to binary. So what is 24? 16 plus 8. So 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4. This is 24, isn't it? Because this is 8 and this is 16. 1, 2, 3. This is 24. 24 is this, and all zeros is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Therefore, the least significant 10 bits are all zeros. Since the least significant 10 bits are all zeros, you can say that yes, the first IP address is divisible by size of the block. Therefore, all the 3 rules are satisfied and so they can be aggregated. Then what is the resulting supernet ID? So resulting supernet ID is always take the first IP address and write the slash number. So what is the size of the total network? 2 power 10. If 2 power 10 is the size of the network, which means host ID contains 10 bits, then how many bits will be there in network ID? 32 minus 10. See, 2 power 10 is the total size of the network after combining all these networks, isn't it? Therefore, host ID part contains 10 bits. And what will be network ID part? Network ID part is 32 minus 10, which is 22 bits. So network ID is 22. Therefore, you can take the first IP address, or in fact you can take any IP address from this range. You can take any IP address from this range and write slash 22. That will represent the entire network, right? So I am just taking the first IP address. Therefore, 128.56.24.0 slash 22 represents this entire network. In fact, you could have taken any number from that range, but I took the first IP address, which is right. Therefore, this is the resulting answer. So after performing aggregation on all these networks, we get one supernet, and that supernet is this, and its size is 2/22, which means network ID contains 22 bits. Therefore, host ID contains 10 bits. Therefore, size of the network is 2 power 10, which is right because each one is 2 power 8 into 4. Got it? Okay.